Hey everyone, I didn't post anything last week when we went into lockdown, and I want to put out some regular content, but I'll be honest, I needed a couple of days to get my head around it, because it doesn't feel like the last lockdown. Last time we went to lockdown, everything closed, and there was no one on the roads, and the schools were closed, and every business was closed, and there was this real feeling of we're all in this together. This time it doesn't really seem any quieter outside, and the schools are back, and the roads are busy, and you know, it felt like there's just very few businesses actually closed. And it didn't seem, from my point of view, worth making daily challenges or making content, because a lot of you are still at work, all of you are still at school, those of you that are school age. And I was like feeling a bit like, oh, I've just got to sit around and do nothing. And it took me a little while to get my head into, no, I've got to do something, if not for you guys, then just for me. So here I am at the Academy. I've come down here today to do a bit of training and just think about what we're going to do for the next month. And thank you to everyone who's donated, because it looks like we'll be able to make ends meet this month, fingers crossed. So I really appreciate that. It's a horrible situation. Okay, so to get myself out of that weird headspace that I was in, where I feel like, oh, what's the point? I had to take my own advice. And I'm reminded of a time that myself and Matt were doing a corporate event in Switzerland. This was back in 2015. And we'd flown into Geneva, and we'd picked up a hire car, and it was just this like Skoda Fabia, I think, just a regular like family car. And we had to drive up into the mountains. We had to go up to a place called Gstaad, which is up in the Alps. And as we're driving up these mountain roads, it was beautiful. And there was just this enormous snowstorm. Now we're in a front-wheel drive family car. And there's some snow chains in the boot, but we live in England, so we didn't know how to put snow chains on, when to use snow chains, or even that driving this front wheel car up steep mountain roads like this was going to be difficult in a snowstorm. And we're in the middle of nowhere, we're up a mountain. And we've got in the car, myself and Matt, a violinist, a makeup artist, and a DJ. That's all we've got. So not really got the skill set to get us out of this situation. And there was some panic, there was some worry, like it's going to get dark, we're in the snowstorm, how are we going to get out of this, the car's not moving. And I just remember saying the same thing. This is rubbish right now. Right now, this situation is rubbish. We don't know how we're going to get out of it. But we will get out of it. And in a week's time, this is going to be a funny story. We're going to tell people this story. This is going to be a funny story. And we managed to get some signal. We got onto YouTube and we looked up a tutorial on how to put snow chains onto a car. And Matt's there with the instructions and I'm there with my phone in joggers, knee deep in snow. And we got the snow chains on the tyres, and we got to the resort, and we had a brilliant time at this event. It was one of my favourite jobs we've ever done. But there was an hour or so of sheer panic, where people were really worried about what was going to go on. And I kind of wanted to take that message and like, I don't know what the next couple of months is going to look like. We don't know what the next 6 months is going to look like. But eventually, we're going to be okay, and we're going to tell people about this in the future. You know, so remember 2020, how rubbish was that? But it'll be okay, and this is going to be a funny story one day. So I had to dig myself out of that hole by using my past experience. So here I am at the Academy. I'm going to do some jumping around today. Probably going to fall over a bit, and I'm going to think about what kind of content I'm going to put out for you guys. Maybe some more stories like that, maybe some jumping around, and maybe even set you guys some challenges. But you look after yourselves, and I'll see you again soon.